Hey guys, I want to talk about how to stop a relapse before it happens. Someone just left a comment that they relapsed a week before their 4 year anniversary in sobriety, and it's a shame it happens. I say in my other videos that relapse is part of recovery, and to not go down into guilt and shame because that could keep you in a dark place for a very long time. It could keep you in your addiction and your drinking for a very long time, just the guilt and shame. But I want to talk about how to nip the thoughts that enable a relapse before it happens. Okay, every single thought you have to control, you have to monitor, and you have to. It says this in the Bible that you basically have to guard against every single thought that comes upon you, and that you have to realize that there's a truth in every thought, and then there's a lie in every thought, and so you have to capture your thoughts. So it's scary because the impulse to use or drink or whatever your addiction is can sneak up upon you so fast that you act on it. And so you have to capture every thought as it comes up. And if you start even thinking about grabbing a drink or whatever you do, you have to capture it and delete it right away. And you have to focus your mind on something else, like your new life now, your new friends, the health, the wealth that you want to acquire. You're just start thinking about your new sober life and get excited about it. Go for a run. Just divert that thought as soon as it comes up, because if you entertain that thought for 1 second too long about taking a drink or using or whatever your addiction is, if you entertain it for 1 second too long, you'll go into it. You'll impulsively act on it. I know people that had 17 years of sobriety, and they were at a dinner party, and there was a drink on the table. It wasn't even hers. It was her friend's drink. And the one with 17 years of sobriety was like, I wonder what that tastes like, and grabbed it and took a drink. And she relapsed. And that was the end of her. Every time you go out, every time you relapse and go back out there into this wicked, cruel world of addicts and alcoholics, you might not come back to the safe, loving warmth of sobriety. You're playing Russian roulette every time you use. Okay, I did. Every time I drank, I blacked out. I made it a game. I was like, what's going to happen tonight? I'm not going to remember it. We'll see in the morning what happens. Okay, it's scary and it's life or death. So you have to guard against every single thought and instantly divert it. Push it away. Get that thought out of your mind, because 1 second too long, you can impulsively act on that thought. The demons are ready. They're ready to launch a war against you. They're waiting for you to savor a bad thought just for 2 seconds, and then they come in, and then it's game over. Until the next day, if you make it, till the next day, brush yourself off and say, I'm on the wagon. That wasn't me. I love my sobriety. And stay active. Get 2 jobs if you have to. Get out of the town you're in. You got to change everything. People, places, and things. You have to get rid of all of them and start over. Go to groups. Do 90 meetings in 90 days. But don't get wrapped up on your sobriety date. Okay? It can be fun. It can be rewarding. AA teaches that you want to reach these milestones, and you should celebrate every day you're sober with milestones. But if you do relapse, do not let it affect you negatively that you lost that time, that you have to start over. Okay, that's the one thing I don't like about AA is when you relapse, they say you have to start your time all over again. I had 3 to 4 relapses when I finally said I was sober for the rest of my life. And people are like, oh, well, you can't count that because you relapsed. And I'm like, yeah, I know. But I've been 99% sober since 2008. I had 3 2-day relapses or 4, and I haven't had a real drink. I haven't had one single drink since 2013, 2014, 2013. It's been 10 years. No relapse. But I had a couple relapses to get to that point where I weighed both my sober life and my drunk life. And I was like, I want sober life from now on. And I burned the bridge. Uh, there is no more option to drink. I don't smell it. I don't even fantasize about it. I don't even think about it. And that's how you have to be. And if a thought does come in, delete it right away and go for a jog. Just change the thought. Don't even entertain it for 2 seconds, because that might be 2 seconds too long. And then you'll instantly go get beer or whatever you do. I'm having that trouble right now with fapping. I'm, you know, I'm really close to, I'm praying every night. I want to be a good person, and sometimes I'll see a trigger in the house. It could be like a pair of white socks, and all of a sudden I'm fapping again. Even though the day before I was so solid with Jesus, uh, it doesn't matter. I entertained the kinky, perverted thought for too long, 2 seconds too long, and I was fapping. And then I feel the guilt and shame that I felt since I was a little boy. There's so much shame and guilt around my addictions. It's not even funny. I would definitely look into toxic shame. Uh, it describes me to a T. Maybe you had the same type of childhood where you were shamed and you then took it personally, and now you feel like you're bad or you're broken. There's toxic shame, and it can destroy your life with addictions and all the other crap that goes with it. So definitely explore, do your research, start reading books on toxic shame. Check out other videos on YouTube. There's a girl named Heidi who has a good toxic shame video, so check her out. Do your research, and that will prepare you for the next relapse or trigger. Maybe you won't relapse. Maybe you'll squash the trigger before it even happens. That's the ideal. Love you guys. Leave a comment. How are you doing with your sobriety? It is life or death, and I'm here with you. Okay, every single day, it's a battle, but we will eventually win and have a fulfilling, healthy, sober, loving, graceful life. God bless.